Yo, 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 yo. Peace, peace, and peace. Rob Blackstorm, what it is, what it is, what it is, family. Let me get y'all in the building. I didn't leave a post that I was going live tonight. Damn, my front camera's dirty as shit. Hold up. This might be a little clearer. But anyway, yeah, let me do this. Give me 1 second. Let me get situated. I don't think anybody's in the building. I know it's Friday night. People are turning up. 3rd of July, full moon coming in tomorrow. I'll leave y'all some music though. What the? What's up, that bitch? That bitch is fronting on me. That bitch is. Oh, T Sonya, what's up? Great goodness goddess, what's going on? My music ain't working right now. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Jada. Give me 1 second, guys.
Check me out. One time.
I'm just gonna get a little organized. So I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna play music. Yeah, play this. What's my man saying? Call for Jada. Give me a second. I'm gonna get set up. Peace to y'all. Let some people come in. Yes or no referendum. Skull and bones be the gremlins. Is you working for the U.S. or the Kremlin? Fed the gators with infants. You gave us Edgar Hoover. We gave you Larry Davis, the shooter, the pancreas bruiser of police cruisers. You gave us disease and misery. We gave you Dr. Sabi, the healer of all envy. Better pray that the jaws of life will save your life. It's the return of the Anunnaki and Semites. Then emerge like the phoenix from ashes and fire. I changed the game. This is a shame. I'm totally not prepared. I appreciate y'all waiting for me, looking on my business. Peace, Master Ali. T Sonya, I never saw you before, but peace, Master Ali. Peace to the new subscribers. Peace to the new people in the building. Already know what's going on. If you're new, you know we always vibe on this Christ conscious. So let's turn it up. All right, I think I'm ready. See all this crap I got on my phone. Good to see you, T Sonya. Kevin, peace. Okay. Glad you caught a live. All right. Peace pipes and marijuana can plants. I'm not the enemy. I reside at the embassy with Saudi Benghazi. Should have went kamikaze. Lo and behold, the king scroll, diplomas and cloak, the bourbon poles and votes be homeowners and ghosts. Registered dead folks. Write scriptures for the Pulitzer. Spitballs of literature. I'm not these millennials. This is today's agenda. Come home to do interviews forever. Label criminals. Forgive me, I'm cynical. And kids in Africa be digging up minerals. This is the mixtape I'm playing. Bathroom, not cater to niggas who trans. While you crash the Bugatti. But I don't want to hear that. The world is mine. Immune to these crabs. Yes, some people come in. The world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the barrel. Yo, I gotta get mine. The world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the bucket. Look, I gotta get mine. The world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the barrel. Yo, I gotta get mine. From here to the Greenlands, niggas will ruin your plans. Snakes slither on grass. I even seen them on sand. I've seen them dap they mans. Just seen them take the stand. I don't want new shoes. I want a new stock plan. I don't want fake news. I want the truth constant. Expungements. Erase my thumbprints. A bum on the corner wish me well. I didn't have $1 that day. Next day gave me Pradas in the cell. See the drama know me well. These crabs in the bucket on my heels. Hating how I eat on meals on wheels. Turn a shitty credit score to straight $100 bills. Baby moms that hit your stash. This shit get real. Don't trust nobody, not even your kids. Whip them too hard, they might tell the cops what you did. Ain't no time to do a bid. The money on the streets, I don't need 8 hours, I get 4 hours sleep. Yo, the world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the bucket. Look, I gotta get mine. Yeah. The world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the barrel. Yo, I gotta get mine. Yo, the world is mine. Immune to these crabs in the bucket. Look, play out some throwback Blackstorm. We gonna go in. We gonna go in real quick.
Prophets on the pole, Fox News calling me a culprit, a rebel with a musket. I body on public, I fight for injustice like man, fuck it. You can catch me on the back of
Program your cups.
The cannon got more than enough ammo. First fucker to call me Sambo, it sound like my translord. I got an army that'll take out George. Try to act like Hitler or Stalin, it's all out war. Try to act like Leopold, I the heat in your jaw. Squeeze the trigger, blow your cheek on the floor. The Greeks call me Osiris, but my name ain't Saw. We on the Silk Road trying to cop gunpowder and more. I'm like Jim Kelly in China, roundhouse your whole lineup.
Dallas, peace. Yes, pimp cup.
White supremacy, the enemy is time to
Program your cups. Program your water.
We tried to be more, but they Freddie greatest before. Top floor, Fred Camp in the door. Handed out raw to all of the poor. On executive calls, kill cockroach told to
let some more people come in. Starting soon.
We shoot 10 shots off top and send them in. Latin pride with black power up in the mix. Diamond cut, tourmaline rocks, color the links. Posted up, arms cross chest, look like a sphinx. Dead president, my set, I stick a brinks. They paying Hellenistic politics, and government got too much blood on their hands for them to cover it. Out of the shadows, dark, on with intelligence. The Holy Grail bloodline shines on our resemblance. Got a BLM membership ready to pull a hit. I'm Colin Kaepernick out this bitch, you Mike Vick.
Yeah, instead of world tours, my worries is world wars. We already in the 3, shit gets ready for 4. Niggas till we steady you, I fuck you up. It's the deal, never kill, but never say never will. To live.
My rap name. Both sides, salute. Welcome.
Living life in the bricks. Take a walk to crooked out. See how nice it is. World War III.
I think this is me.
I rain on your parade with pack black max, cut throats, razor blades. Whip a nigga back like a slave back in the days. The pain will take your brain into the darkness of caves. I terrify your mind till you see spirits at your bed. This narrative from the solar, universal soldier. Demons are stored inside my molars. Draw swords to the necks of these frauds and leave them beheaded, cause they tested the style of the dreaded. And without warning, we'll be swarming by morning. You'll speak of many evils, desert eagles are performing. Run through your home like the Moors through Rome, putting bullets in the domes of these Zimmerman clones. We want reparations of Benz and 40 acres, or it's World War III and we cooking pigs like bacon.
Yeah. Vintage black. So let's get started. You may hear my daughter in the background. She in here talking to her homegirl. She calls her rat-a-tat. Shout out to my daughter. All right. So we gonna go in. You guys that follow me know how we usually start this, and we usually go straight into the astrology. And you guys know the astrology is this is basically what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, we're going to construct this whole Sirius dog star July 4th event. I'm going to tell you where the red, white, and blue come from on your flag, how it relates to Sirius. Okay. Shout out to Blue Pill as well. Okay, Blue Pill dropped a fucking firebomb yesterday when he was on Black Magic 363. So shout out to him. He covered a lot. So as I was developing this, I was developing this topic kind of Wednesday. I kind of dipped my foot out. Let me tell y'all a quick story. Why you have to always, Alexis, peace. Let me tell y'all a quick story. A quick story of why you always have to listen to your downloads, right? And listen to your ancestors. So you guys that have been following me know that last month I was heavy channeling Prince, right? Gemini season, heavy Prince, right? Heavy Prince. and Prince was coming to me in my dreams, giving me communication. So one of the things that he shared with me, he gave me a restriction, right, in order to maximize my abilities and maximize my talents, right? And the restriction that he gave me, okay, so I can't share the restriction, right? I basically just kind of heard that. I can't share the restriction, but the restriction that he gave me, I followed for about 3 weeks, right? Probably the best 3 weeks of my life, you know? And it wasn't really a restriction that was like anything crazy. It was just a limit, right, of something that I could do so that I don't get out of hand with it, right? So it was like, okay, this time period, you could do this. But during this time period, you can't do that shit at all, right? So for example, let's use another example. Let's say it's eating cake, right? So basically the limit was like, yo, you could eat cake anytime. I'm giving you a different time because I got to throw you off, basically, is what I'm being told. So basically, you could eat cake anytime from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., right? But after 5 p.m., you can't eat cake or it's going to fuck you up, right? So that was one of the limits that I got downloaded from Prince directly. So I was following this, right, for about 3 weeks straight, right? And Monday and Tuesday, I kind of went off it, you know. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have to follow this restriction. You know, I could kind of go do my own thing, you know. Oh, you know, like, well, you know, today's a little crazy. Let me just dip in and eat this cake after 7, right? Or eat this cake after 8. And it fucked me up. It limited me. And I felt a literal disconnect from source, right? Because of me not following the limit, right? So I galvanized myself back on Wednesday and I'm back following the limit. So I say all this to say before I even start is if you get a download from spirit or if you're communicating with ancestors, right, which a lot of you guys are stepping into your powers right now, a lot of you guys should be seeing coincidences. There's, as I always say, there's no coincidence, only confirmation. Somebody please type that in the chat box. There's no coincidence, only confirmation. So if you see something happen and you see something doubling up, then there's a reason. You have to look deeper into that. There's no coincidences in life. Deja vu, coincidence, no. If that happens, look deeper into it because there's a message behind it, and a message is important. Even today, right, I was going to the Botanica to get some stuff, right, to do some ritual work. And I went to the Botanica. I went to the Botanica with my daughter on, I think we went Wednesday, all right? And we got there, it closed earlier than expected because of COVID, okay? And there was a lady, me and her were talking, right? We were talking about the situation, blah, blah, blah. So I went today again to the Botanica. They ended up closing earlier. And I'm gonna wrap this up soon and get into the astrology and get to everything else. But I went earlier. So I went earlier and they closed earlier today. So I'm like, damn, I missed it again. Do you know I saw the same lady? I saw the same lady that I was building with. And I live in New York City. So for you to see somebody, and I didn't see her by the same Botanica. I saw someplace totally different. But do you know that the likelihood of you seeing the same person twice in New York, a stranger, is like, that shit is like limited. You know what I'm saying? Very, 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 very. There's people that I dated in New York I've never seen again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like very rare. But if you see somebody that you see again, so I saw the lady again, me and her started talking, and she gave me a new place to Botanica to go that closed earlier, right? So she was there, and she gave me a new Botanica that I didn't even know existed, right? That opened later, and honestly had a better vibe. You know, okay? So that coincidence was a confirmation of me going to this new Botanica. So whenever you see coincidences like that, things doubling up, things that seem like deja vu, pay attention because there's a message in it for you. And that message just might be to follow whatever that person says or look deeper into what that coincidence means for you and what resonates. And it's the same thing like looking at numbers, 333, 999, 6, all these number combinations. It's the same thing. But when you're looking at people, when you're looking at events, based on my perspective, and this is my perspective, those things are much more significant because they're placed in they're placed into you, not like numbers, you know. Numbers are there. Sometimes you could just be waking up and look at and see 333 a.m. And, you know, sometimes, honestly, I feel like it doesn't mean shit sometimes, right? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, just random. But I feel like when people and events double up, that's way more intense for you. And the more you see these coincidences, the more in tune you are with the divine, because that's what happens when you start opening up and when you start awakening. You start to see these coincidences more and more. So the more you tap in, the better it is for you. Okay, so again, there's no coincidences, only confirmation. So I just wanted to share that. Let's get into the astral matrix. You know, this is how we always start. You should have this app already. If you don't, definitely download it. It is free 99. All right, this is my shit. All right, so this is what I'm supposed to be doing today: making friends, talking to people. July 3rd to 7th. Okay, my ass will be in the house though, so I guess I'll be talking to them on social media. But I'll be out after everything kind of blows over with this July 4th, and we'll get into that in a second. So, but let's get into today's mathematics, as the gods would say. How y'all doing out there? I hope y'all okay. Y'all all right? All right. The app is called Astro Matrix. Astro Matrix. Okay. And somebody in the chat that's been following me for a while, they'll be able to drop it on you. Somebody could put it in the chat for you. So, again, we are on this waxing gibbous moon in Sagittarius, okay? So the moon is in Sag, okay, and we kind of covered this, so I'm not going to go into it, but we covered this last time. But I'll just go into this. Is a high interest in foreign countries, travel. Of course, with coronavirus, it's not really going to be, but the moon is in Sagittarius, so it favors adventure, travel. And we're going to get into that a little bit. So that is where the moon is, but also the sun, which is not saying here. Oh, let's go. Okay, let's get into the lunar eclipse. Okay, so the lunar eclipse is in Capricorn, July 5th, 12:44. All right, that's Eastern time, I believe, 12:44, because that's what I have here. Well, I'll show you that soon. Actually, no, I can show you that now. Yeah, so, all right, so here it says 11:07. Okay, that says 12:44. So my ass will be outside 11:07. And I'm going to trust this more because it came from NASA. And so the eclipse, it begins 11:07 p.m. Eastern time on July 4th, right? Depending on where you live, 3:07 a.m., okay? The eclipse will be at its maximum, the point where the greatest percentage of the moon will be covered in the penumbra, basically saying where the moon will be covering the sun. This is a lunar eclipse, 12:29 a.m. on July. Then 2 hours and 45 minutes to begin so 2 hours and 45 minutes. Let's do the math on this, all right? 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 9, 10, 11. Okay, 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so still Gemini energy, twin energy. And also we're going to see where this twin energy comes in with the red, white, and blue very shortly. This live probably not going to take that long, but it is going to be packed with information and give you some clarity about what's going on. So let's just look at this, all right? I never even looked at this. So both of us are looking at this and all of us are going to be looking at this and going through this together, all right? So July 4th and 5th, peace, Black Widow. On July 4th and 5th, we'll be ending a 2-year cycle with the full moon penumbral lunar eclipse at 13 degrees in Capricorn. Okay, this is the final eclipse on the Capricorn Cancer axis. Okay, very important, and we'll get to that shortly. This Capricorn Cancer axis, with the first having been in mid-July of 2018. This is the culmination of a massive cycle centered around family and security, as well as the feminine and masculine. Okay, I dropped a video last week about gender wars, okay, how to diffuse gender wars, because now is not the time. All right, now is not the time for man versus woman, woman versus man. Man doesn't do this, women don't do that. Now is not the time. But we are in Cancer season, and if you are not enlightened, you will get caught up in that wave, because that wave is out there for you to surf on if you so choose. That program is out for your brain to run on if you so choose to run that program. And you choose to be in your feelings instead of focused on your freedom. It's freedom time, believe it or not. It's freedom time, okay? And this year, according to the cosmos, is not over. Like, people see the riots dying down, people see the shit dying down. Wait until this weekend, okay? Shit's about to ramp right back up, because there's going to be things that are going to occur that are going to shift the narrative and shift the way people feel. Now, I want to say this before I go any further, and Spirit is telling me to say this. We all, Jarvian, what's up? Now, we all, right? So, I want to see justice for Breonna Taylor. I want to see justice for Ahmaud Arbery. I want to see justice for everybody, Trayvon, all of them, right? All of them I want to see justice for. But, well, there's no but with that. I want to see justice for all of them, right? What I don't like seeing is us beg. Okay? I hate seeing the constant, consistent post, especially now that we're like a month, maybe a month in, right? And all these posts are still not getting us any type of justice. Now, I'm not saying that awareness is not necessary in the beginning, right? Post about it first week, 2 weeks. And I'm not saying don't stop posting about it, right? Keep posting about it. Keep the intention out there. But my thing is this. We all saw what happened when violence occurred. Whether you talk of Antifa and all that, George Soros and all that bullshit, I don't care about none of that. What I care about is seeing motherfuckers rise up, right? And the way that they rose up was by not being nonviolent. The way that people are, and yeah, they're trying to placate us with the symbols of, Black Lives Matter all over the place. And we all know the organization is not really for black men, so to speak, and Black Lives Matter is really just an organization that's funded by the Democratic Party and George Soros has a hand, blah, 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 right? And then go back to my old videos if you need to dive deeper into that. But we have to realize that the men, right? And it's sad to say this, but honestly, it's probably going to be the women. It's probably going to be the women. This is sad to say, but there has to be some sort of retribution. There has to be some sort of revenge at play. There has to be a point where instead of camping out in front of the dude's house, right, there has to be somebody who's going to bust at the dude's house, right? And I'm not saying this to encourage violence. I'm not saying this to encourage someone to, do something crazy out of order. However, what's up, T. Sonia? However, no one is going to respect a person that constantly gets beat up, and begs the other person. Now, look at it this way. I'm getting beat up, right? Let's say I'm getting beat up. Hands is getting beat up. Every day I come out, boom, boom. Matter of fact, every month I come out, boom, Rob's getting beat up, boom, Rob's getting beat up, boom, Rob's getting beat up. And I'm calling for the police, right? I'm calling for the police to help me. Police comes, they don't do nothing. I get beat up again the next month. Police comes, they don't do nothing. Boom, you see what I'm saying? I'm getting beat up and beat up and beat up. Eventually, I'm gonna have to fight back against the motherfucker that's beating me up. You understand? Now, the response that normally happens in these situations is people wait for the government to help them. They wait for the government to assist them. They wait for the government to file laws. They wait for lawyers, right? How long has this shit been happening? Like for decades. And the only time anything kind of shifted was when someone used violence. Someone was like, fuck that, right? No matter who, whatever portion you think it is, there was violence enacted, right? There was violence. There's plenty of videos out there with cops getting hit, getting run over, fucked up, all type of shit. The tear gas blowing back on them, some nature revenge shit, right? Only time that any action is ever taken place for black people in America is where there's some type of action. Even when Kid died and there was riots, that's when the law was passed where people sit, we could sit with white people at lunch counters and shit, in quote unquote integration, right? So that any time something happens in America is always preceded by some violence, right? The Nat Turner Rebellion caused them to change the laws, not for the better, right? But it still caused changes, and it still made people wake up. Now, there are many people who sacrifice their lives for absolutely nothing, to sell drugs and protect the block, to protect a block they don't own, a building that they don't own, drugs that they're going to get locked up for eventually, and shit like that, right? Many people die for nothing. Now, you got to ask yourself, and you have to be prepared in this lifetime, in this avatar flesh that we live in. And I'm saying this for myself too. We got to be prepared in this avatar flesh that we live in to sacrifice it, sometimes for the greater good. Sacrifice it to protect your family. Sacrifice it so that people know not to fuck with you, or be prepared. Not necessarily sacrifice it, but be prepared that if it comes to that, I'm willing to do it so that nobody else goes through this in my family. Nobody else gets fucked with. Now, the response when Eric, and I'm going to get off this right now, but I'm just touching this real quick. The response was different when Nipsey got killed by a black man, Eric Holder. Eric Holder's father died. Eric Holder's girlfriend got shot and died, right? People around his family got shot. And again, this is just typical of what happens in the hood. If somebody big dies, they go after your family. It's the same thing the mafia does. They go after your family, right? And I'm kind of using code words, not saying anything specific, but if you listen to this whole spiel that I just had, you get my point, okay? So there's no way, right? A nigga that killed a cracker that killed one of my family members is gonna be comfortable. Like I saw with these videos with a dude in Minnesota just walking through Target chilling, but he's gonna be comfortable. There's no way, because I know if he was black people would have retaliated, right? But because he's white, and this is also this Jesus programming that we have, thinking that these people are untouchable. So then they act like they're untouchable because we've been conditioned to associate white with deity, with godliness, right? With purity, with infallibility, because Jesus was taught to us as a white man. So again, we got to break out of this. And this is this Capricorn energy, because it's about to turn up. It's about to turn up. And people are going to have to make decisions on what side. Are you standing on truth? And everybody doesn't play a frontline role in this, but you have to self. Are you going to stand on truth? Are you going to stand on your own honor? Are you going to stand on your own principles? Or are you going to be sheep and just fall victim and do what everyone else is doing? Are you going to protect? Are you prepared to protect your family? Are you prepared to do whatever you need to do? Okay, because again, I'll use Martin and Malcolm, since that's two people everybody resonate with. But they live forever, even though they died. Martin and Malcolm are Martin, Malcolm, Marcus Garvey. They're never gonna die. They'll always live in our memories. They'll always live in our visions from generation to generation to generation, right? And the family Newhamers and all the people that went to war and sacrificed for the black family, for the black youth, if we want to call it that, right? So again, that's the energy that we're going into. So Spirit's telling me to tell you that don't be afraid to do what you need to do, especially with this cycle coming up. Don't be afraid to do what you need to do. And if you are able to get a legal gun license, man, if you ain't got it by now, shit, you better get it, okay? You better get it. Again, I'm saying a lot without saying a lot, okay? Capricorn is the sign of responsibility, okay? Like I said, I didn't read this. And this full moon reveals where we've fallen into avoidance or procrastination and where we need to step up and take charge. Ultimately, the Capricorn full moon calls for emotional responsibility. Why is that? Because it's in Cancer, okay? So ability to respond appropriately when strong feelings get triggered, right? What is your role? Because again, we're entering stages of freedom. It's not over. Don't sleep. After this full moon, After this full moon, it's turn up season. Okay, there's gonna lot of shit's gonna happen between tomorrow and the next day, and we'll get into it. Right, things that I see, things that I've been feeling, and I kind of told y'all about this last video. A gun license, a pistol, right? Get you a pistol, gun license. If you get a legal pistol, get a pistol. Okay, don't be out here just relying on the Lord to protect you. Okay, you are gods. Ye are gods. So you have to protect thyself. Man, know thyself. Man, protect thyself. Okay? Shit, have some mace if you need to. Get a knife if you can't, And again, protect yourself. Because, again, we're heading into war season. And Mars and Aries is as well. Mars is war energy. We're in Mars and Aries up until November. So Mars is a war planet. All right? Right next to Earth. Mars is a war planet. And Aries, we know the ram. So that's a aggressive warlike energy. And the biggest war, before we go into an external war, the biggest war is in you. Okay, the biggest war is the war with yourself. Let's go on. Okay, so ultimately Cap calls most responsibility, the ability to respond appropriately when strong feelings get triggered. Stepping away from the drama and pulling our attention inward for solitude and reflection it is the best strategy. Okay, so going into this full moon, like it says, Capricorn is the sign of responsibility. We fall into avoidance or procrastination and need to step up and take charge. So what are you doing, right? What have you been doing since the solar eclipse that we had a couple of weeks ago? The solar eclipse was used to activate your energy. You're supposed to be activating new ideas. You're supposed to be activating new thoughts. And you're also supposed to be activating new powers. Okay? Again, this is a time of psychic energy. This is a time of spirituality. 6 planets in retrograde, right? Mercury being one of them, communication, right? Just ton of planets in retrograde. Not to mention these full moons, these eclipses and stuff like that. So the solar eclipse is supposed to activate you to realize what you want. And if you're going through hell right now, if you're going through a lot of crazy things and a lot of ups and downs, is to get you to the point where you surrender to the divine, to you surrender to the greatness in yourself, to you surrender to the powers that you have, and you start to tap in. When the external world falls, or when things in your external world start falling apart, is this happens so that you could tap into who you truly are and what you truly are and what your best self is, because you won't have those external things to rely on, right? Those securities, those comforts fall apart, and when they fall apart in your external world, it forces you to go within. A lot of millionaires were on their last dime, right? The Rock always tells this story about him having like 50 cents in his pocket, and then he decided to go to the gym and start learning to act. And now look at The Rock, right? Tiffany Haddish has a similar story. A lot of successful people have similar stories where they were at the bottom, and because they were at the bottom, they were able to dig deep and become resourceful, right? And come and step ahead. Everyone that's successful is not because of the Illuminati, okay? Y'all give Illuminati way too much credit and way too much power, okay? Whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. So people talking all this Illuminati, all this deep state, and you talking about it over and over and over, what you pay most attention to, you give power to, okay? Put some power in your fucking, your altar, okay? Put those powers in your thoughts. You want these pedophiles to go to jail? Get an altar, okay? Get an altar. Target the people that you know are doing this, all right? Target them. That's all you got to do. Target them. You got a printer or whatever. You got a smartphone. Shit, get a picture. Start targeting them from the esoteric world, all right? Posting about it ain't doing shit. You're going to get a ton of likes, all right? You're going to get a ton of likes, a ton of hearts, but that's not doing shit. It hasn't stopped the pedophile yet. But Epstein's wife got locked up today, okay? And I don't think she's going to live for too long, because you see what happened to Epstein, but Epstein's girlfriend got locked up. Now, if she does live, she's going to have to spill that tea, okay? So pedophilia season may be Can't say ending, because evil will always exist, right? But pedophilia season may become more exposed. And after these lunar eclipse, lunar and the moon dealing with the inner emotions. If you look at the tarot deck, the moon always deals with the illusions, right? And the illusions are things that you create within yourself, right? Not necessarily the external, well, the external world as well, but again, man know thyself is the way we look at the world. Peace, Ezekiel. 90%, yeah, 10% trying to balance. Yeah, Alexis, that's what you should be feeling. You should be feeling, but damn, I lost my thought. But this world of illusion starts with you. Okay? I exposed 2 illusions with the NASCAR shit last week, and something else I was talking about where the FBI try to pull the wool over our eyes with the NASCAR, and even this corona thing, right? I talked about that last week. How could the corona in the 2 of the hottest states in America? I lived in Houston. I know that shit is stupid hot. There's no way corona is living in that shit, right? With all them ultraviolet rays pumping, right? But again, the Florida, same thing, 2 of the hottest states, okay? How can these things happen? So illusions, okay? So, but the biggest illusion, if you feed into that shit, okay, it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with you. You putting the mask on everywhere, it starts with you, okay? All this shit, the mask and all this shit is designed to get you compliant and get you and turn this country into China. That's really what's happening, because America's direct competitor is China. And look at what's happening in China. If you need to see what's happening in China, just do a Google, right? China is totally totalitarian, meaning that they control everything. When you wake up, they got fucking headbands on the kids, could tell the kids are not paying attention. Like, shit is crazy. Social monitoring, where you can't take flights certain places, you can't go eat certain places unless you have a certain social score. Okay, and the mask is really the start of that, because as many people just give up control over their independence and their sovereignty and don't think for themselves. I stepped outside today and I was kind of sad. I was just looking at it from a clear lens, and I was looking at how many people was out. Today it was 90 fucking 3 degrees in New York, okay? 93 degrees. And I was looking at all these people struggling, walking down a bare street, nobody next to them, right? 20 feet apart. They still got the mask on. They ain't talking to a soul. And I was thinking a mindset, and I'm looking at them fucking struggling in the mask. Mask looking like a blow-up doll, right? And I'm seeing them struggling. I'm like, damn, look at how many jogging, right? And how these people are moving. Just sheep, just following what the news and what the media is telling them, not thinking for themselves. And I'm like, damn, this looks like this might be the future, But a lot of us are waking up. So hopefully enough of us that are waking up and are changing our mindset, that vibration is going to permeate and start continuing to wake more and more people up, so that they're not just sheep and they're not just thinking about what they're told and doing what they're told. You got to be in 2020. You got to think for yourself. All right. I know I said this before, but I'll say it probably every video. 2020, especially and beyond, you can't trust nothing the media is telling you. You can't trust nothing the celebrities are telling you. You can't trust even what your homie is telling you. Look at it on your own, okay? And the more you start to tap into these things, the more your spiritual power will raise, and the more you will awaken, and the more, and I'm shifting this from the third eye to the first eye, okay? The more your first eye will awaken, and the more you'll see more of this bullshit that they put out there to try to confuse you, okay? Your mind will start to, your electromagnetic field will magnetically attract you to information, to knowledge, to, again, dodge bullets, like Neo in the Matrix, okay? Dodge the bullshit. So, again, stepping away from the drama and pulling our attention inward for solitude and reflection. So yeah, it's a Capricorn full moon, but it is a lunar eclipse. It's dealing with the moon. Let's go into this next paragraph. Lunar eclipses magnify the effects of a full moon, bringing about major endings because of the axis the eclipse falls on, you may feel some extra stress and discomfort as your home environment, and your sense of security, especially around career, gets a little shaken. Okay, so yeah, you may be questioning where you work, you may be questioning your job, you may be questioning what's next to do. And you have to take a look at what house 13 degrees Capricorn falls in your natal chart. Okay, if you download this app, they'll give you the chart to look at, and it's pretty detailed where it breaks down everything. I'll show you my chart in a section just so you can see for yourself. So when you do it, you kind of understand what's going on. So what take a look at what house 13 degree Capricorn falls in your natal chart. That area is what the eclipse will activate. Okay, I'm gonna do this live with y'all. I haven't done this. All right, how has that area of your life changed over the past 2 years? If is there anything that is still unfinished? All right, so wait, let's do this whole thing, then I'll get to my chart, and then we'll get to the meat, which is July 4th. So you might be feeling extra emotional and sensitive, but try not to resist the changes that come with the eclipse, as they are here to help you release and purge any people or situations that are no longer serving you. All right. So you're going to have people, right? You're stepping in. If you follow me, hopefully you are stepping into a new paradigm. You are looking at life differently. And not just me, hopefully besides me, you're stepping in, you're doing independent research and independent knowledge, following other people's Ashira Star Goddess, who else? Of course, Black Magic 363, and Hood Mystic, Mastery Foolish, these channels where they provide wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from an enlightened point of view. And not only that, just doing your own independent research, like Bobby Hemmett, C. Freeman L. Francis Cress Westling. The list goes on and on. You guys know who to follow and who to look at by now, and step into to the point where you are understanding what's going on, what should be going on, and how you can operate in this matrix. So if you're feeling emotional and sensitive, it could be because people are trying to, as you're changing and transforming, your old world is falling. Meaning that the people that you used to be around probably not fucking with you like that anymore, right? The people that you used to hang around with, they don't seem so cool to hang around with anymore. The people that are seeing you change might be fronting on you, right? They might be talking shit. They might be hating on you. They might be like, oh, criticizing you. Oh, you're doing this. You're wearing crystals now. Oh, you're drinking green juice now. Oh, you're eating, different type of food now. You're looking at life different, You're not wearing a mask like that crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're not to the point where you're just following blindly anything that people say. You're questioning things, right? You're looking at movies different. You're looking at shows different, right? And people are talking shit about it. They're like, yo, this is not the person that I knew. When Rob Blackstorm stepped into this space last year, I was nervous as shit, okay? In fact, I'm going to tell you a secret. The reason that this is called Rob instead of Ra, R-A, is because I was worried about what people thought. Honest, right? I was worried about what people thought. And I was worried that if I put Rob, people's going to say, oh, you a hotep, blah, blah, blah. All that shit, you a hotep, or you think you a conscious nigga. And I just wanted to fit in, right? I just wanted to fit in. But Spirit was like, nigga, you need to do this YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? Hood Mystic was like, yo, you need to do this YouTube page, right? And I had a blog before that kind of prepared me, thirdeyeculture.com, which I kind of let shut down because blogging was just taking so much time, and I didn't, and it wasn't really the type of reward I was looking for. So I stopped blogging. I shut down the site, but I did that site, had a couple articles, so it kind of prepared me to go into this YouTube space. But yeah, I was like, yo, I should have made, and even now, I look back, I kind of regret it because I'm like, damn, I wish I would have called this Rob Blackstorm because that's the energy that I bring. But before I do these lives, before I do these type of presentations, in my head is Ra. In my head is Ra. And Ra just means that chi energy, that Ka, that fire energy, right? That energy from the gut, right? That fire, that avatar enlightened, If you saw Avatar, the last Airbender, right, when his eyes start glowing, right, the Thanos eyes when they start glowing, right, then Bumblebee the movie when he got upset and went to war for justice, them eyes, you know. So that's the type of mindset I have when I come into doing these YouTubes, right? So the Ra is still there. I was gonna change the name, but the brand is already Rob. It's already on a lot of other videos on a lot of pages, so I'm gonna keep it the way it is. But please know, when I come into this, it's always Ra. And I say all that to say that when you're stepping into yourself, it is a thing that is going to be nerve-wracking. It is something that you're going to be nervous about. It is something that is going to be uncomfortable. Remember, we've been taught to be a certain way for years. I mean, how many years of school that we've been in? 17 years that they've conditioned us. Then those of us who went to college for 4 years, right? That we've been conditioned, right? Not to mention our parents, not to mention our friends, not to mention the TV, not to mention the internet, not to mention society. So the unlearning process is a difficult process. It's a difficult process, and especially with this mystery school science, right? It's different. It hit different, right? So it's a different, and how many people are really into this science? So again, you may be, like it says, you may be feeling extra emotional and sensitive, but try not to resist the changes that come with the eclipse, as they are here to help you release and purge any people or situations that are no longer serving you. So you might have friends that you can't fuck with anymore. That's okay. You might have a girlfriend, boyfriend, where it's time to go. It's time to go, okay? You might be uncomfortable, all right? You might have to move in with mommy and daddy, all right? Let me tell you a situation I had years ago, early 2000s. I got catfished, right? This is like when the camera phone, this is like 2002, when the camera phone was kind of still new, right? And you couldn't, you can kind of get fooled. This chick was like a master with the angles, but I knew her in high school already. All right, and I'm gonna cut this story kind of short. But anyway, I moved out there. I got catfished, right? But whatever. You're gonna go. I'm already out there, so you're gonna go with the flow. And I remember shit just didn't work out, and I had to come back to New York. I had to humble myself after a year and come back to New York. And I had to live with my mom for a little while. At the time I was 29, I think, 28, 29, and I had to live with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think I was young. I think I was younger than that. But anyway, I'm bad with years. But I had to live with my mom, and I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit was fucked up. I was much younger than that actually, and shit was fucked up, right? For a couple, I had to live there for like 3-4 months. Now the last place I want to live is with my mom. You know what I'm saying? The last place I wanted to live at that time was with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Love her to death, but we should never live together. And it was just stressful. I remember those 4 months, like fucking stressful, like stressful. But I worked my way out of that, and eventually, and sometimes you gotta, hopefully you don't have a situation that was as rough as mine, but you have to step into your power, and you have to sacrifice some things in order to get what you need. You might have to take a step back to move forward. So don't be afraid of what people are going to say. Definitely don't be afraid of the internet, Facebook and Instagram, because half of the shit you see on Instagram ain't real. That's not their real life. Half of the shit you see on Facebook ain't real. It's not their real life. It's not authentic, right? And I don't know, fellas, if you've been dating and shit like that, or if you don't have a girl, half of the times when you see a girl in real life, she don't even look like 60% of her picture. So, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it is right now. Like, you got to really, like, be on your P's and Q's, because the catfish game is different nowadays. You know what I'm saying? The angle game is different nowadays. And that's on both sides, you know what I'm saying, for men and women. So, again, you got to look at, yes, exactly, Black Widow, your trauma will turn into a badge of honor and growth. This is correct. So going through all these things, going through all these ups and downs has helped me become who I need to be right now. So again, but this season, 2020, what's so magical about 2020 is that the energy of 2020 with the Beetlejuice energy, the Beetlejuice being the star next to Sirius. I won't get into that. You could go to other people for that. But with the energy that we're getting, especially the black hole energy that's hitting us right now through the X-rays and the ionosphere and how it relates to melanin and things like that, we're getting upgraded. and things are moving on a quantum level. Remember, we're entering the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. So a lot of our thoughts, how we speak, what we say, what we think, right? Air sign. So we're putting these things out into reality and they're manifesting very fast. All right. And I don't know, again, if you guys have been doing magic, if you guys have, done any things I've told you, you should be seeing things manifest quicker than the usual. All right. You should be seeing things come to you quicker than usual. And if they're not, there's still some work that you need to do. Now, what I speak about is this being a lifestyle. This is not something that I do on Sundays. This is not something I just do on Thursdays. This is not something I just do on full moons and solstices and shit like that. Daily practice, right? Daily practice. This is a lifestyle for me at this point. So you have to decide, what are you going to enter the mystery school, right? Or are you just going to be a regular person? You have three people you could be in life: a savage in the pursuit of happiness. That's the savage, the animal, the shit that's popular nowadays. Being a savage, being ratchet, right? Being a fucking animal, being a beast. You could be a man, which is a fucking sheep most of the time, right? Listens to authorities, believes in the experts, right? Listens to science blindly, right? Or you could be a motherfucking god, okay? You could be a god. You could be a god. Those are the choices that you have, okay? That's it. Those three choices. And being a god means that you are out for self-mastery and knowledge of self most of all. And once your knowledge of self, you know thyself through the chakra system, then you are able to manifest the things that you need, okay? So knowing thyself is the most important thing, and working on yourself is the most important thing. Self-improvement, all right? Turning your weaknesses into strengths. That is the goal, and that is really what this moon eclipse is all about. This eclipse will bring a shift in perspective, allowing us to see how they have transformed and what outdated beliefs need to change in order to align with the reality we envision moving forward, okay? So it's just, okay, Alexis, I don't know what's going on, but all right. I hope everything's okay. I remember that endings always herald new beginnings. So allow the eclipse to swiftly tie up loose ends for you as the cycle comes to completion. Set your intentions for what you would like to release and what you would like this new chapter to bring. Okay? Yes, Ready Player One. To go backwards, you must go forward. Yes, I think that was the first Ready Player One is deep. That was the first scene with the car going backwards, right? The first test that no one passed. That was the science. That's a good one, Ezekiel. You got to go fat. You got to move backwards to go forward. And this is what this moon energy. Again, the moon is your internal self. All right. The sun is your external self. The moon is your internal self. The sun, left brain, active, logical, reasoning, mathematics. The moon, right brain, feminine, receptive, intuitive, imaginative. So we're dealing with moon energy. Okay. Okay, I see where you're going, Alexis. I got you. So moon energy is what we're dealing with. Right side of the brain, feminine energies. This is not the solar eclipse where you just go do rituals and go crazy. Not to say you can't do rituals during this, right? But this, if you're going to do rituals, make sure these rituals are not just about getting a car, getting a new job. And again, I'm not saying you can't do any of that. But if you're going to do that, right, I'll let y'all in a secret. My biggest rituals that I've been doing lately, I haven't asked for shit. I have an abundance rituals that I do on a regular basis, right? So I can't say I haven't asked for shit. But my main ritual is wisdom. Wisdom. That's what I've been praying for heavy since the last solar eclipse. And it just came to me because I was asking for this, asking for that, asking for improvement in this, asking for improvement with these different characteristics that I'm trying to improve on. And Spirit was just like, yo, ask for wisdom. Ask for wisdom. Everything else will come to you if you have the wisdom to see what's going on around you, if you have the wisdom to take advantage of opportunities, if you have the wisdom to see which people around you can help you, if you have the wisdom to avoid obstructions, if you have the wisdom when obstructions come to know handle it, right? So it's been like, so Spirit's been like, yo, just ask for wisdom, do your rituals for wisdom. So I'm saying all this to say that allow this eclipse to tie up ends for you as the cycle comes to a completion. Set your intentions for what you would like to release. This is a self-improvement cycle, okay? This Sirius energy, and we're about to get into it, and I'll break it down deeper, but this Sirius energy is serious, okay? This Sirius energy is about you looking within and seeing what do you have to change. All right, I gave you some examples, or I gave you some. Yeah, I would definitely. I always talk about meditation. I've talked about it like every video, so I'm like tired of saying it at this point. But yes, Ezekiel, meditate for sure. Like this is a meditation. Tomorrow is a meditation day. Like if you can meditate more than once, you should meditate. If you need to meditate and then right after have a book with you, you should do that. You should actually have something, write up something tonight after this or tomorrow morning when you wake up to the where you know these things I want to work on. Okay, I want to be a better speaker. I want to be a better leader, right? I want to be I want to attract people in my life that are going to help me get ahead. I want to be around more encouraging people. I want to be a much more encouraging person. I want, and again, I'm just giving you examples, right? You know what you need to work on, and all you have to do, if you don't, right? Your body will tell you too by certain pains, but that's a deep science. But your body will tell you by certain pains and where they are located in the body. If you have an ache or a pain somewhere, look at the chakra system, all right? But again, this is something, chakra, okay, glands. So when people say, oh, chakras, there's some imaginary, it's pseudoscience. Well, why are there glands associated with the chakras? Okay? Why is that? Why is that? All right? I'm not making nothing up. You know what I'm saying? I just Google this. I'm not making nothing up. All right? Chakras. Okay? This is somebody did this on Facebook. I'm just pulling this up. Root chakra. Okay? Are you having issues with your root chakra? All right? Are you overly sexual? Do you need sex all the time? Right? Or how's your insecurity? How's your fear level? Okay? Are you still scared of rats? A lot of women are still scared of rats. This is the time to destroy those fears. If you're still scared of heights, this is the time to destroy those fears. And I'm not telling you to go in a rat cage. I'm not telling you to go on the top of the Empire State Building either. But visualize you mastering in meditation, visualize you mastering these things. Are you scared of, I don't know, whatever you have fear of? Are you scared of people that are, that quote unquote ratchet or quote unquote hood? Right? Are you scared to be around those situations, right? Because if you're God anywhere. So you can't say and this is something that I've learned this year. You can't say, "Oh, I'm separate from them," or "I'm different from them." If you're God anywhere. You could be God wherever you need to be. Whether it's amongst the ratchets, whether it's amongst the crackers, whether it's amongst white people, whether it's amongst black, brown, whatever. Other gods as well. You're still God. Okay, so look at these things, and dive deep. Sacral chakra, adrenal glands, okay? Solar plexus chakra, pancreas, metabolism, all right? And this is kind of these breakdowns, but there's deeper breakdowns. Just go online and see what you need to work on. Are you having problems speaking? Okay. Do you think clearly? There's solar plexus. How's your direction, right? How's your discipline? Okay. Sacral chakra. How's your discipline? How's your emotions? All right. This is about stepping into Christ consciousness, but you have to go through your power and your refinement. Okay. You have to go through your power and your refinement. You have to get refinement and you have to get discipline. You have to figure out these things that work and don't work anymore because no one can do it for you. Rob Blackstorm can't do this for you. Okay, I can't tell you what you need to work on. I can't tell you what you need to improve. I can't tell you the weaknesses that you have. Only you could do that. And how you do that is by stepping into your shadow self, what everybody calls your shadow self, and divining and looking at, look, even if you don't meditate, let's say you don't know how to meditate, you have never meditated, meditating frustrates you, right? Go in nature, sit down in some silence. If you got your phone, download Evernote, right? Download Evernote or use your notepad, whatever you need. Get a black and white. Honestly, I would recommend you having a regular book. But let's say you don't have a regular book. Shit, you get one for 99 cents though. But let's say you can't, whatever reason. Write it on your phone, and again, map out these things. Look deep inside yourself. Don't don't be defensive with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You could be defensive with the world. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you always hating. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You can be defensive with somebody else. But if you know you're always hating, if you know you always got some shit to say about somebody, if you know you're always gossiping, if you know that you're kind of lazy, right? If you know that you're not really disciplined, if you know that you don't speak up when you need to, um, if you know that you're not really digging deep into things, you're not looking at things from a critical lens, right? Your third eye. If you know that you're very emotional, but your emotions are out of control, right? These are the things that you want to target. These are the things that you want to and people online are going to tell you about targeting people. No, target your motherfucking self first. And I tell you what, if you target yourself first, your hexes and your blessings for yourself are way more effective. I tell you this from experience, okay? I'm not telling you this, again, as I always tell you, I come from the same hoods, the same streets, the same slums. I've been on the best side of life with family, right? Many mansions, all type of foreigns outside the house. And I've been on the worst side of life, in the projects, okay? So I've seen it all. A lot of y'all think that if you get rich, your problems are gonna be gone. Let me tell you something, from someone who's lived years with people that are wealthy, doesn't mean shit. And I think I said this before. You can have a whole bunch of money and be miserable and be unhappy and have no one to really enjoy it with. And let me tell you something, from looking at this from my own two eyes and then analyzing it with my first eye. That's the worst place to be. You're better off being poor and struggling. And I don't wish poverty on anyone, right? My whole thing is peace, power, and prosperity. But I'm going to say this. I've been to Antigua and I've seen kids play with jacks, like little jacks in a ball. And they were the happiest kids in the world. I've seen adults join in with them. Poor, right? Not a lot of money. Happy and kind and gracious and filled with grace. Okay? So again, I'm not with the poverty shit at all. I'm not with being poor at all. But what I am saying is, don't think getting rich is going to kill it all. Because if you get rich, which you're supposed to be trying to do, or not even rich, whatever you're comfortable with, right? Because we're taught that getting rich is happiness. We're taught that getting wealthy is happiness. That's how the capitalistic mindset works, so that you can stab your mom or stab your homie in the back to get ahead, or stab your quote unquote friend to get ahead, right? So when you get ahead, you got all this money, but you still feel like shit because you stabbed your homie in the back. Or maybe you don't. Really depends on how you feel, right? You may not feel like you did shit. But again, that energy that you put out will return based on the law of correspondence, or the law of cause and effect, right? Not karma, but the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect. Totally different things. The energy that you're putting out is going to boomerang back, because everything goes in spirals, including the universe, including what's on your motherfucking fingerprint. All right? Spirals. Your nappy ass hair. Okay? So, again, as this says, all right, the lunar eclipse is starting tomorrow. All right, July 4th. All right, I'll be outside. I recommend you moon gaze if possible. Look up at the moon, and when you look at the moon, don't just look at it from a spectator view. You looking at it loud from a God's view. You're a God, okay? Rob Blackstone told you today. Ye are gods, okay? You're God. There's no, I'm a nigga, I'm a female, I'm a man. No, you're a God, all right? Now, as a God, all the universe is designed to work for you. I'm going to say this again. As a God, your perspective, and this is my 2020 vision that I've unlocked and that I've seen and I'm seeing work. Your third eye vision, your first eye vision will unlock this, and all the universe works for you. The universe works for you. This means animals. This means the bees. This means George Soros. This means Antifa. This means Black Lives Matter. This means Hillary Clinton. This means Donald Trump. Nobody's saying this, right? Nobody's telling you this. But really, if you look at these things and you are able to use your electromagnetic field that you generate from your heart, your spirit, your aura, as the spiritual says, and you're able to manipulate that, everything will work on your behalf. Let me tell you something again, Rob Blackstorm done. I drove, and my daughter's mother will tell you this. Fact, I drove for about 2.5 years without a license in New York and New Jersey. I was driving back and forth from New York to New Jersey with not a license, just the ID. The car that I had was a beat up Toyota Camry. My Toyota Camry, I got into an accident. The shit was fucked up in the front. The shit had tape on the motherfucking headlight, okay? And cops were stopping me, okay? But instead of me being scared, right? Spirit told me to finesse the cops. And I would finesse the shit out of a motherfucking cop. Okay, I learned cop language, okay? Cop come to the window. Hey, how's it doing? License registration. No problem. How's your tour going? Tour, cop language, okay? How's your tour? Oh, now I'm speaking this language. And any foreign culture, right? If you could speak the language, Jewish, we talk to Jews, you say Lahaim. You talk to Spanish people, como estas, right? Asian people, konnichiwa, right? All these things help you connect, right? And help you get the things that you need. So how's your tour? And then there's, okay, so now he sees that I know a little something. I'm not just a regular nigga, right? Now you're going to still deal with the racists here and there and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that these encounters can't be bad. What I am saying is my perspective when I deal with the cops, and this has been before George Floyd and all that, is not fear. It's not fear, okay? This is over. Yeah, what, Soul's 10? Yeah, so this is over. This is Soul. This is on this one. Yeah, so this is at least 6-7 years ago, okay? So, and this is how, and I told y'all, and I think in the other video, shit, in the 90s, we never was scared for the cops. You know what I'm saying? On the projects, we used to throw fucking rocks on them off the roof cops, okay? We never was scared. So, and I'm not saying don't be nervous if the cops come, but, well, actually, I am saying don't be nervous. What I am saying is use your motherfucking head, okay? Figure out how to manipulate the situation. Cops pull you over, don't just get mad immediately, okay? Figure out how to finesse that motherfucker. He ain't nobody. Ain't none of these cops nobody. These niggas ain't nobody. That's how I look at them. Trump ain't nobody. None of these motherfuckers is nobody, all right? None of these motherfuckers is avatars in a shell. They live in my world. They live in my world, okay? That's how I look at it. They live in my world. And I manipulate this shit, not them. They don't influence me. The media doesn't influence me. I influence the motherfucking media. I influence these motherfucking cops. I influence the people around me. Shit. And if you've seen some of these videos, you've seen nature take its place. Where and damn, I'm going long, but let me I gotta get into the meat and potatoes. But you see nature's hand. Lightning strikes hitting the Sears building, hitting the Freedom Tower yesterday in New York, right? In the State Building in Texas, the Harris State Building, the lightning hitting the Washington Monument a couple weeks ago. Okay, so you see nature working on behalf of freedom, justice, and equality. All right? Hands off. Candles on. Thoughts on. Okay? Ritual on. Okay? Meditation on. Okay? It's the people that fuck with us, right? And by us, I mean those that are doing spiritual work, that and this is also the cosmos. Don't get this twisted. This shit is already happening based on cosmic energy. But it's us also that's contributing to this cosmic energy, quote unquote, the Schumann resonance, if you want to get deep into that, that are helping these things move along, because we work hand in hand, as above, so below. So we work hand in hand with the cosmos. If you follow me, we working hand in hand with the cosmos. That's my whole thing. Like, look to the stars. Don't look to man. Look to the stars, right? Go outside of nature, listen to nature, meditate on nature. What does nature tell you? Because nature's going to tell you something different than the news is going to tell you. Nature's going to tell you something different than your homie's going to tell you. Nature's going to tell you something different than your mama and your daddy and the people at school's going to tell you. When coronavirus first hit, go back to my videos. You'll see I was outside, okay? I was outside in the streets, all right? And when I went outside in the mornings, doing my little morning, in the morning, sometimes I just go outside and let the sun hit me and think. I hear the birds tweeting, and birds were singing a different song than fear and fear mongering. So it helped me relax. It helped me not get swept up. Because when 90% of the people outside of you are scared, it's going to influence you. Even though you're a god, it's still going to influence you. But the responsibility of being a god is to say, wait, let me know thyself. We don't get caught up in the black matrix either. What everybody black is doing. Fuck that. Okay? Just because everyone black thinks this, that doesn't mean you need to think that. Because everybody that's skinfolk ain't kinfolk. And if you think a black person won't put that knife in your back quicker than a white person, I advise you to go to the pink houses in Brooklyn and just start singing some stupid shit. And see if the niggas blacker than me won't tear your monkey ass up. Okay? I'm just using the pink house as an example. No disrespect to the pink houses. I'm just using that as an example to say that, look, it's not a color thing, right? It's justice, freedom, justice, equality. It's truth, it's power. And whatever vessel that truth comes in, you got to recognize it for what it is. Okay? You got to recognize it for what it is. So, yeah, the white people work for me. Shit. White people work for me. Okay? I could tell you some miraculous shit that happened for me. You know what I'm saying? Many a job where people is like, yo, you don't even work like that and you got this position. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for years before I even tapped into touching a candle. Before I even tapped into touching a motherfucking pentagram. Before I even tapped in just off my thoughts. Just off my thoughts, my intention, and literally just following the basic principles of a law of attraction, as I taught y'all. Think it, right? Visualize it, see it, have an affirmation attached to it, and feel it. And do it over and over again till exhaustion, right? So you're tired of doing it. So you could put as much energy into it. And then watch what happens, okay? Miracles. Now, of course, the pentagrams and the spell work and all that shit adds on to it. What I'm saying, I was doing this before that. So remember, you're God. So again, endings also always herald new beginnings. Okay? So allow the eclipse to swiftly type up. Don't take this time period for granted. Okay? Don't take tomorrow. Don't take Sunday for granted. Don't take these 2 days for granted. Go outside, meditate, get you some sun, get you some nature. I personally would stay away from the barbecues. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why shortly. But just on a dietary principle, I would stay away from eating any heavy meat tomorrow. Okay, any meat, dairy, and of course, depending on your financial situation, you got to do what you got to do, man. But honestly, tomorrow I would be on some fish shit. If you're gonna eat it, some tuna fish, you know what I'm saying? Take it light tomorrow. Don't be eating a whole bunch of food and stuffed and getting just to the point where you're in a coma, right? Focus on getting yourself right. Focus on getting yourself to your truth. Focus on being, there's a word I'm looking for, being authentic. And if you could fast, even better, right? If you could fast during the day, and tomorrow's gonna be a long ass day, because if you look, you see the sun is getting in New York. I say, I'm looking at the times that they're predicting that the sun is gonna rise, and I'm up a lot of times, 4 or 5 a.m. and the sun is already by 5:10, and the shit says the sun's supposed to rise like 5:45, 6:13 a.m. 5 something, that shit is already running. That shit is already popping up. Okay? So again, you can't even listen to them for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta trust your own eyes. So these days are longer, and they're longer for a reason. And that's just the summer solstice, right? And they're shortening as time goes by, which is natural part of the solar cycle. But these days are longer for a reason. So you could soak up a lot. Look, that shit was looking like the sun yesterday. That shit had a rainbow ring. All right, I'm looking at that shit. People looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm standing on the middle of, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I'm standing on Grand Concourse looking at the moon like this. And I'm pulling energy, just looking at the moon and feeling myself pulling energy from the moon, feeling myself pulling energy. Do you know that shit gave me like such a high? Like such a high, you know what I'm saying? And some wisdom, right? Which I won't share here. But again, these are things when you start moon gazing. Now today, I'm a master, I would say I'm a master moon gazer and a master sun gazer, right? Just because of the time that all over the years that I've done it. And today I couldn't even look at the sun I couldn't look at the sun. And usually, right, I could look at the sun for like a minute, maybe a minute, 45 seconds before it should start getting blinky, right? I'll pull that energy in. But today, shit, I couldn't look at that shit for 3 seconds. Like I looked up one, two, that shit was like, nigga, don't play. Okay? Don't play today. Don't play today, don't play tomorrow, right? So I'm gonna do some moon gazing tonight. I'm gonna definitely do some moon gazing tomorrow, right? And I'm gonna stick to the moon, but I'm gonna get out and get my sun. So I'm saying all this and going through all this to basically break down how important it is to get into yourself, get into your illusion of self. Break them shits down. Destroy your fears. Kill your fears. If you're scared of black men, if you're scared of women, black women, if you're scared of society, coronavirus, Trump, the future, China, kill them shits, man. Visualize yourself fucking be victorious in all those things. You could do anything in your imagination. You do anything in your imagination. Anything in your past, anything in your future, you could program. That's the power of your imagination. Anything could be real. You could literally have your past enemies in your imagination on a chopping board and chop the motherfuckers in pieces and throw them down the drain. Right? Just so that when you encounter this situation again in real life with somebody that's like that person, instead of you being triggered, now you could be a transformative agent. And now you can say, okay, I'm not triggered. I could look at this from a clear mind and I could attack, I could defend appropriately. Okay? So now I said I was going to get into something on this. Shout out to y'all that's still staying with me. I know I go on and on, but it's Friday night. What y'all got to do? And think I'm bringing y'all value. If you can, please donate. Hit that Cash App. $ Rob Blackstorm 7, $ Rob Blackstorm 7. If you can, all right. And please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. All right. Let me all right. What house 13 degrees Capricorn falls in your natal chart? All right. So let's look at my natal chart. I'm gonna bring y'all in a little bit to my world. So this ain't that. Birth report. What the fuck? This is not what I'm looking for. All right, maybe it's not meant. Oh, okay, let's do this. Here it is. Okay. So what is that? 30-something degrees Capricorn. Yes, please post the Cash App, $ Rob Blackstorm 7. $ Rob Blackstorm 7. Thank you for your support. All right. It means a lot, not just to me, but to my family. And those of y'all who follow me on different things know I give back. Okay. Another thing about giving. There's never been a time that I've gave on the internet, and if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see it. It's still there documented. There's never a time that I've gave that nobody's given to me while I've gave. Never. Ever, ever, ever. Whatever I've given, someone's always given me a portion back. Or anonymously. That's a fact. Okay? It's a motherfucking Snapple fact. So that's how the universe works. Matter of fact, well, I ain't gonna show you this, but I could show you where I gave somebody $40 because they helped me out with Forex and shit like that. And then literally 2 hours later, somebody donated $40 out of nowhere. Word. I kid you not. You rush, man. Honestly, you could, just like in the movie Avatar, we're going to get to the point one day with these spiritual powers and these psychic abilities where we're going to be able to really whisper to these animals. Believe it or not. That's to the point where we're going to elevate to if we're on our square. So this Capricorn shit, all right? What are they talking about? What were the degrees? Hold up. Cause shout out to Daniel. Daniel Carbone. He always donates. I don't know who he is, but shout out to you. Seriously. And shout out to everybody who has donated in the past or whatever too. I do appreciate it. And it keeps me going. Oh, it's buffering. Actually, let me change. I know why it's doing it. Because I don't think my battery is at the max. Hold up. Bear with me. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, it's optimized, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a signal. Maybe it's just a signal. All right. Anyway. All right. So hopefully it doesn't buffer too much. All right. What house? 13 degrees. Capricorn falls in your natal chart. So let's see. Actually, it's 1027. I ain't gonna even do this. And I don't even see where 13 degrees Capricorn does fall into my natal chart. But this is my natal chart, all right? No, this isn't my natal chart. This is current planets. I need birth planets. All right, so 13 degrees Capricorn. I don't even see that shit here. Wait, let's do this. This is what's happening right now. Sun in Cancer, Moon in Sagittarius. All right, and the rest is me. Oh, you mood gazing, listening to me? Yeah, you get. Oh, Black Widow, you get leveled the fuck up. Shout out to you. Okay. 13 degrees Capricorn. I don't even see that shit here. The closest I see to Capricorn is. I don't even see it here, but this is my birth chart. Okay. Sun in Scorpio. I'm on the cusp though. So I have Scorpio and Libra energy, right? Which is represented here. So my communication is Libra. All right. But my Sun is Scorpio. And I see that shit in my real life as well. Right? So water and air. So it's hell of a, and this is kind of as I step into learning more about astrology, really going deeper into astrology, I realized that it's a lot of reasons why I could kind of think into existence because of me being on the cusp of water and air. But that's another story. But let's get into Cancer. And also with your sign, know what your sign is, right? Know if you're a waterbender, just like Avatar, right? Avatar the Last Airbender. Know if you're an airbender, know if you're a waterbender, know if you're an earthbender, know if you're a firebender. So you understand how to attack this world. And this is all in your sign, okay? Whatever Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, know what elements those represent. So even when you're doing your magic, right, you might be better with candle magic, right? If you are a firebender, if you're a fire sign, right? You might be better if you're an earth sign with hoodoo, right? And if you are an air sign, you might be better with visualization, sigils, right? If you are a water sign, you might be better with scrying, water magic, mirror magic, right? So you have to look for what is your natural inclination, right? And if you're on the cusp like me, you might have two differing powers, right? Where you could tap into. So analyze yourself. Man, know thyself. Okay, that's what part of this is. And I haven't even touched the July 4th shit, but I know I'm giving y'all a lot of value with this. So shout out to y'all for sticking with me. All right, but we'll be done soon because we're going on 2 hours. Dragon magic, exactly. Right, fire. Okay. Shit. I think if you are a fire sign, you should have dragons around you, right? Statues of dragons. Maybe have a dragon painting on your wall, right? Something to remind you of who the fuck you are, right? And also, controlling your dragon, because sometimes fire is in every sign, okay? I used to be like, damn, I'm never fucking with a Gemini again. But then I met Geminis that were cool as shit, right? That were different than the Geminis I encountered who was fucking my life up, right? Or trying to fuck my life up, right? But there's Geminis that are not like that, that are elevated, right? So you gotta don't judge people by their signs, judge people by who they are, right? Always, by their character and by how they treat you. Because just because a person's a certain sign and you had a bad relationship or a bad situation with someone in that sign, that just means that they were on the lower level of that sign, or they just didn't vibrate with you, right? On that level where you were. So you got to find people that vibrate with you. It doesn't matter what sign they are. It's just, do they vibe with you? Is the vibe right? Is the frequency right? Right? Are they helping you? Are they twin flaming with you? Right? Like I said, your twin flame could be a homie of the same sex. It doesn't necessarily have to be intimate. Your twin flame could be your homie that says, yo, get up off your ass, nigga, and go get it. That's a twin flame. You're stressed out and depressed. Nigga, get the fuck up and go get it. The fuck you talking about? You stressed out. It's a twin flame. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I talked about that before. But I was looking for this Capricorn thing. I don't see anything about third degree. But let's see what's going on in Pluto. That's the closest that I see. Is 24 degree. So Pluto and Capricorn. All right. So this is what's going on. Exercising caution on things. All right. So you could do this on your own. All right. For time, I'm not gonna go into my own shit, but you could do this on your own. And each of these things that you touch have something different. Let's go into Eastern astrology real quick, because I forgot to tap that with my long talking ass. Okay? Starting in business and landscape, touring Earth, Scorpio. I've had clashes with gems. Yeah, you already know. They were off balance. Yeah, Scorpio and Gemini. I don't think that that's a really sign that should be together, to be honest with you. But I do know people that are elevated Geminis that I do get along with. That probably would never be in a serious relationship. But can't say that. I haven't met every Gemini out in the world, but I have met Geminis that have changed my perspective on Geminis, okay? But I don't think it's the ideal match. I think it's a lot of shit that's just different. Where Geminis are very, like, a lot of Geminis that I know are very, like, expressive, outgoing, not outgoing, but very expressive, very, like, I want to say do things for attention, but kind of like is, if somebody comes around, like I've seen a lot of Geminis turn up, like just act different for the crowd, play to the crowd. And that's what makes them good musicians and actors and people that are into the arts. But a lot of, like me, myself, when I'm in Scorpio mode, you know, I'm very like reserved, step back. I'm an observer. You know, I expect the deck first before I just put my foot out there. I'm friendly and I'm cool and shit, but I'm also going to step back and observe the whole motherfucking room before I really, really put my toe out there. A Gemini, most Geminis, they're just going to put the whole foot out there immediately, right? So just a little different perspective. Doesn't mean it's bad or anything like that. Just different. I hate these ads. All right. So this is what we're looking at. Now, if you looked at Blue Pill's thing, and I don't want to steal his IP, right? But if you look at his video, he talks about like the plagues that are happening. He talk about, you know, how the frogs and the frogs in Africa are just, you know, they said they got dog eating frogs and shit, even in Florida. How the locusts are, I'm sorry, Black Widow, no offense. The locusts are out there. If you've been looking at news in Africa, they're talking about war between Egypt and Ethiopia. And the funny thing is, Egypt, well, I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole if I do that. Let me stick to this. This will be a 3-hour video. So what's that? So July the 3rd, we're still in Scorpio. Okay, so dealing with the mysteries. This is, again, the Eastern philosophy is different. Eastern astrology, Sidereal Vedic, is different than Western. All right, and the reason that it is different is because they're dealing with different constellations. All right, right now it's nighttime here, it's daytime over there. All right, so they're dealing with different energy. The sun hits them different. So a lot of people dismiss Western astrology totally. I don't do that. I look at Western astrology from the masculine, from the left brain, from the logical, mathematic, analytical brain. Then I look at Eastern astrology from the right brain, the intuitive, the imaginative, and the receptive, the female brain. Masculine, Western, female, Eastern. Okay? That's why in the East, they have female pharaohs. They have female kings and queens, because that's the history that we come from, and that's the energy that resonates out there. So I look at the horoscope, I don't look at it just from one angle. I always look at it from these two sides. If you follow me, you know that. So Scorpio, all right, so this is today. Tomorrow, it'll be in Sag, okay? So Sag, you see that arrow, Sag, okay? That bow and that hunter, that being on, okay? That archer, that being on point, that sharpening, all right? That target. So you got targets to hit within yourself, okay? And that is the moon. So the moon is on that aggressive energy. So you're going to see a lot of this play out in Africa, in the Eastern world, right? You'll see a lot of these conflicts and these clashes starting to bubble up, okay? And the energy that is coming up, you know, there's a lot of cat, Sag, cat, okay? Horn deity, okay? Then you know, water bearing, all right, pouring flow. So there's a lot of shit going on in that. For the sake of time, I won't deep dive into it. But and also tomorrow we'll be in Gemini, okay? So Gemini, you know, Gemini on the western, on the eastern hemisphere. We love to talk about Gemini, twin energy. You should already know what's up with Gemini by now. And this is what the sun will be in. So that is on the Vedic, the Sidereal, the Eastern astrology. So this is just saying, be on point with your thoughts. Same thing I've been telling y'all for the past hour and a half. What you destroy, Sag, hit them motherfucking fears, hit them limitations, hit them motherfucking, you know, the people that are fucking holding you back, that are still in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Start picking that shit off. Boom, Sag. Boom, start picking that shit off here. In your right brain, in your imagination, right? Start picking them shits off to go within and create scenarios. Write them out if you need to first, and create scenarios around these fears and start hitting them with that Sag energy, all right? Because this is what we're dealing with. We know in the West, the logical mind, right? The time of planning is dealing with this Cancerian energy, right? The sun in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn, okay? So that Cancerian energy is about being receptive also. It's about being sensitive. It's about being emotional. It's about charging up these ideas. It's about charging up these anti-fears. It's about charging up this confidence, okay? So this is how you use both brains together and you start forming neurons that fire together, wire together, right? And you start in, right? Now let's get into the breakdown, all right? You've been rocking with me for this long. Now you're going to get your treats, okay? So tomorrow you want to be careful as well about going outside. Let me get into my notes. Shout out to Evernote. I love this shit, all right? So now this is what I was supposed to talk about. But still, I hope I gave y'all value. I don't think I was just blubbering your mouth. And I'm solution based. I'm not just going to give you what's wrong and give you the fucking problems of the world. We all know the problems of the world. They're very easy to find. There's people that's going to tell you the problems of the world all day. Okay, there's people that love conspiracy. There's people that love posting shit that don't even be true, that they don't even research it. They just believe it because it sounds fucking esoteric or it sounds like some different. But they don't post no solutions. They don't give you no work conspiracies, not just what's wrong. You got 1 million people that's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? 1 million people that'll tell you what's wrong. 1 million people that'll decode the fuck out of a QAnon video, right? But how the fuck is that gonna help you take care of your family? How the fuck is that gonna help you make you a better person? How the fuck is that gonna have you speak up when you need to speak up? How the fuck is that gonna have you, your psychic abilities to where you can read somebody's mind, your psychic abilities to the point where you can remote view a motherfucker from here and see somebody in California what exactly they're doing, right? This is the shit I'm teaching with the moon gaze, with the magic, with the gemstones, right? And I'm going to get deeper into that as the time progresses. I'm just kind of, you know what I'm saying? And also, I got the Patron, the patron, the patron too. And I'm gonna be posting, even though nobody subscribed yet, I'm gonna be posting more stuff on that. So get ready, because that's gonna be coming down the pike, and everything I'm not gonna be posting on here. I mean, I'm still am, but the deeper, super esoteric mystery school sciences that I haven't even given y'all, I'm gonna be giving it up there. All right, and this goes deeper. The rabbit hole goes way deeper than what I'm giving you. but I'm giving you enough so that you can still activate yourself. Independent supremacists, what I'm talking about is, now let's look at what I'm talking about. I ain't even got to talk about it. All right, let's look at what I'm talking about. Shout out to my I sent this to 1 million people.
Alert as follows, comrades. This is an early alert of supposed activity this weekend on the 4th of July that would cause harm to our people on a very large scale. The Huey Gun Club has received intel from 2 credible sources that multiple white nationalist groups / militias are planning a nationwide attack on all of our people over the 4th of July weekend. The sources could not confirm the motives of the nationalists, but they might be tied to the events that have recently happened with the taking down of Confederate symbols across the United States and the retaliation against police brutality across the United States as well. We, as preparedness group, should take this threat very...
All right, that's enough. So, again, take that for what you will. Like I told y'all on Wednesday, you follow me? Rob Blackstone will not be participating in 4th of July events. I will not be eating hot dogs. I will not be eating burgers. I don't eat that shit anyway. But 100% that should not be in my peripheral. I will not be hanging around parties, big events, large crowds, large people. I'll be in a park. I'll be away from people, away from distance, and isolated as much as possible. And my eyes open. Because this shit, like I said, this is going to, these things, I thoroughly believe that these things are going to happen. There's a lot of rumors out there that the cops are going to kind of let people do what the fuck they want on July 4th. And I think it's going to be kind of a purge day. And I think these supremacists, seeing their fucking statues and everything and their fucking white way of life being destroyed, they're going to try to do something and make a mark. And I don't want to be around. Yes, Farrakhan is supposed to be speaking to tomorrow. I think it's 11 a.m. I'm on NOI.org. I have my own. I'm never gonna really bash a black man. You know, I may talk about some shit that he did, but I have my own things with Farrakhan. But one thing I will say about Farrakhan is he always speaks with conviction. He always drops knowledge, and he does drop a lot of truth. Now, I'll just say that. Now, you can take it for what you will with that. But remember, I'll say this, everyone that drops knowledge, everyone that drops truth, everyone that has sense, you always gotta be careful, right? Because remember, I always say this, a con man always gets you. And I'm not saying Farrakhan's a con man, don't get me wrong. But I am going to say this, a con man always gets you with wisdom, right? There's never been a con man that conned you that wasn't sharp, that wasn't charismatic, that wasn't wise. And again, I'm not saying Farrakhan's a con man. But what I am saying is you could, again, people are trees. So take the fruit that you need, right? But you don't have to be part of that forest, okay? So, independent supremacists. So that, we dropped that, okay? Don't get scammed by Babalao, all right? So Babalaos have been in my motherfucking inbox like crazy. I don't know what's up with this past week, right? What's going on? I guess July 4th, Beyonce dropped her video, her Black Parade. So people are now interested in the mystic and the occult arts, which is cool, right? But a lot of people are naive. So if you see a Babalao, you see these people coming to your inbox, oh, brother, oh, sister, I can help you. Oh, I see that you have a negative entity. Even just a Babalao, just people that claim they do spirit work. You know what I'm saying? If the first time you talk to somebody and you do a reading or you do counseling or you get a consultation from them and they're immediately telling you the first time you see them that you got a hex or you got some negative entity on you and you got to pay to get it off, be mindful. This doesn't mean that you don't have that, but a motherfucker should not be telling you that that shit is happening immediately, right? Motherfucker shouldn't tell you that on your first session. You know, I don't care how powerful a magician you are. For you to have a demon on you, right? Or for you to have some type, and sometimes that is the case, don't get me wrong, right? But 99% of the time, that's not the case. 99% of the time, the demon is just you. The demon is just in you. It's just something that you are not working on developing within yourself. All right. So Epstein's girlfriend arrested. Okay, we talked about that. So we ain't gonna go into that. Fuck them, do you. Okay, we talked about that too. So we don't need to go into that. All right, so the full moon. This is called a buck moon or a thunder moon. All right. I like thunder moon better than buck moon. And they say it's because of the thunderstorms that take place in July. And honestly, in New York, there was a thunder strike yesterday. It hit the Freedom Tower, and there was rain and thunder today as well. All right, so Thunder Moon, big deal, big things, big conflict, there's big energy around this lunar eclipse, full moon, occurring at the same time on July the 4th. I mean, this is a glorious day, man. Imagine having a day, even if you watch Avatar, The Last Airbender, right? And they always talk about solstices, they talk about comets, they talk about full moons, they talk about eclipses to tap into power. And this is quote unquote a children's cartoon. But as I told y'all, watch Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. That shit is a spiritual school if you really listen to it and watch it. All right. So the buck moon, thunder moon, that's what we on. All right. Now let's get into the significance of the red, the white, and the blue. And I'm gonna break this down for you real quick. Okay. Now the red. Okay, we are in Cancer season. All right. So the red symbolizes Cancer. Okay. July 4th is always in Cancer season, right? It's Cancer season. So July 4th is always in Cancer season. And if you see a crab, which is what Cancer represents, I mean, I shouldn't have to pull that shit up. A crab is red, right? You can say a crab is red. So the red represents Cancer, or this gate, and I'll get into that a little bit after I break this down. So it's pretty much like a stargate that happens on July 4th. Now, America was really erected on July 2nd. That's when it was founded, July 2nd, 1776. But because the originators of America are Freemasons and deal with Freemasonry, which is stolen Egyptian mystery school science, right? Life science, spiritual technology that they stole and use against us on a day-to-day basis. This is why Washington, D.C. looks like Memphis, Egypt, right? This is why Memphis is even named Memphis, because of its orientation to the Nile. Deeper story, won't get into that right now, but you could look that up. But the reason that Washington, D.C. looks like the Temple of Karnak, right, in Egypt, let's look at the Temple of Karnak. You need to see that. Spirit said y'all need to see that. So you can see that this shit is stolen, okay? That they stole the whole fucking DC layout. Okay? They stole DC, and Benjamin Banneker built that shit, but this shit was... Hold up, that's not Karnak. These aren't the best pictures, but... Alright, so you see this water? This is representative of the same water that's in Washington, D.C. with the fucking, the obelisk or the Washington Monument. Okay, the obelisk, and then there is, I don't know why these pictures are trash, but there's better pictures. But there was once water, but basically, if you dive deep, for the time, I'm not going to get into it, but if you dive deep into the Temple of Karnak or Memphis, Egypt, you'll see that Washington, D.C. is basically modeled after that motherfucker. Okay? Same shit. Same look at this shit. Same orientation, okay? And you can see the water right here. I don't know why these pictures are like this, but yeah, Washington, D.C. is based on this model. Benjamin Banneker the Moore designed it, and it's basically saying that America, these Freemasons, erected this, and they used July 4th because they know what's up. All right, they know the science that you don't. That's why they stole it. So they erected it on July 2nd, but they used July 4th because they know about this orientation of the solar system. Okay, so red, Cancer, which we are in, and that represents Heru. Okay, so this is all the Egyptian mythos replayed in real time. And what the Freemasons are going to be doing while we watch, well, not we, but the sheep are focused on fireworks. The Freemasons are going to be in those temples, sourcing, moon gazing, and doing rituals. Might be sacrificing a child or some shit, right? Because they still deal with human sacrifice, even though we're in the age of Aquarius and all those sacrifices of animals and humans and shit like that no longer needed. But because they are on a savage level and dealing with energy, dark magic, right? Dark magic, again, I explained that last video, so I won't get deep into it. But since they're still on dark magic, what they're doing is they're extracting energy, right? That's why they sleep with the children, the pedophiles, so they can extract energy and power, okay? That's the whole thing is for, is to extract that pure energy from the child, to get them scared and to get that fear energy, which is a heightened emotion. This is how powerful your heightened emotions are, right? This is how powerful sex is too, in a heightened emotion for manifesting and creating. Look at America. Look at what they've done with your science. They built this shit with on the backs of slaves, but still using your science and your spiritual technology. Okay, and it represents, the red represents Heru. Okay, it represents Heru. It represents that Cancer energy represents Heru. Heru is the warrior, right? The Heru is all about willpower. Heru is the one that came back to represent Ser when he went to the underworld. Heru is what you call Horus, or what the Greeks call Horus. All right, and just for visual representation, I mean, you should know this, but so you can see that Heru is red. It's like the motherfucking Cancer. Okay, so that's Heru. Okay. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Well, it's a crab. All right. You don't know what a crab looks like? It's right here. Cancer, crab. You don't know what a crab looks like? Then you're going to have some problems in life. That's all I can tell you. Okay. Cancer, crabs are red. All right. So that's that. But so that's the representation of that in the sky. All right. So this is the Egyptian mythos. This is the Egyptian story, the resurrection story. We played out the same story of Jesus, right? And the same story of Jesus dying and getting resurrected in 3 days. The same story of Horus, him being, I mean, there's so many similarities. For time, I won't get into it, and for memory's sake, but you could look up the Egyptian story or the Egyptian myth, right, of Ser or Set and Heru to deep dive into that. But you'll see that this is a representation of that. Remember, America is based on Kemet. America is based on Egypt. So the Freemasons are using Egyptian spiritual technology again. So all this is relevant, all right? And this is why you have the red, white, and blue on your flag as well, okay? Or Set, blue, Capricorn, all right? And it was ill because I Googled, and I think I still have it, what color zodiac does Capricorn represent? And it said blue. And that shit blew me away. Let me see if I still have it up. Or we could just Google it. And I like to do this because I want to prove this shit to y'all. Like, I don't want to just tell y'all something. Like a lot of y'all, the people y'all follow, tell y'all shit. And it's just bullshit. No disrespect. But there's a lot of shit be just bullshit. So Capricorn color, okay. Now let's look at this. Your zodiac sign of Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and so your lucky color is blue. Okay. I just showed you the moon is in Capricorn on the astro matrix is that, okay? The moon is in Capricorn. Let's go back into that. Okay? With that Capricorn energy. Hold up. Wait, this ain't what I'm looking for. Again, I want to prove this. I don't want to just talk. Oh, Sag. Oh, I messed up. No, the eclipse. Sorry, I knew I was right. I was just wrong. The eclipse. Sorry. Okay. So then the energy is popping. The eclipse is in what that say? Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn. Blue. Red. Heru. Blue. Offset. And let's see, is offset blue? Offset is Oyamaya if you fuck with the Yoruba tradition. Offset, let's look at a picture of Offset, which is what you would call Isis. All right, working with the goddess Offset, aka Isis. Okay, she said it right there for me. But let's look at the image. Ooh, okay. Rob Black Storm ain't lying to y'all. Okay, is the embodiment of these intuitive and instinctive faculties that lay deep within the psyche. Offset is a right brain. Okay, right brain. That other energy, the cap energy, is left brain. Aggressive, logical, mathematic, going outward. This right brain going inward. Okay? So blue. Okay? Blue. All right? Let's look. Let's keep going. All right? Keep looking. See all this blue? I ain't making this shit up. All right? That's not Offset. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay? This is not Offset for sure. Because we know she's is melanated. All right, these deities are melanated, but blue. Okay. No, that's my eye. I need a good picture of Offset. But for time's sake, okay, you can look this up yourself. All right, blue. All right, that's the color Offset. Yamaya just showed you. Let's see what they got with Isis. You see, even me pulling that shit up, that shit said Isis Offset. That's what happens when they steal your shit. Okay? But anyway, you could deep dive into this. I ain't got to lie to you. So there's no reason. So that Capricorn energy is red. And look, you even see it right here. Okay? Cap, red, Heru. Okay? It's right here. It's right here. Can't even peep. It's right there. All right? So, and white. Okay, so the red, Heru, the blue, Capricorn energy, all set. Okay, and the white light, Sirius. Okay, white light. So white represents the light from the light energy, and also there's a deeper dive into this where I'll get to. But white represents the light from the stars, the light from Cancer, the light from Capricorn. All right, and the light from Sirius. Okay, and Sirius represents Orsair. Sirius represents that Orsair principle, that red and that blue. And if you follow me, you know I've already showed you Orsair, but for people that are new, let's pull up Orsair and you'll see the red and the blue. This is not a good picture. Let me get the one from. Okay. Red, blue, white. Okay? Red, blue, white. Okay? Orsair. So Orsair is representative of the conjunction of the light of Sirius. Also, Sirius is in Sirius is the dog star. And the dog is Anubis. Okay, now I had an article here that kind of went into that. I think I lost it, but let me see if I pull it in my gallery. Okay, so this isn't what I'm looking for, but this is something you could pull up. All right, so the Sigi Festival. Okay, so Sigi. This is so yeah, they have an important festival, the Sigi Festival. It's an animist. So animist ritual just means like animist is what they consider, like Heru, for instance, is a falcon, right? Anubis is a dog, right? So these things are considered animist, right? They're using animals to represent spiritual or characteristics, right? So they call this the Sigi Festival, all right? So the Sigi Festivals takes place every 60 years. Next one will start in 2027, and they call it Devil, okay? Or, but of course, if you don't know and you don't understand what these people are doing, of course you're going to quit. And there was an article that I had. Let me see if I can still pull it up, because it's very important. I know this is long. Thank y'all for still staying with me. I'm going to close it up soon, I promise. Because I'm about to do some moon gazing soon. So, all right, so let's look at this. Boom. Okay. Okay, so soap debt is also called Sirius, but I want to get to, this isn't really the article, but I see it does have, so I'm just searching here. Okay, so this is kind of shit. You could probably pull this up, because this is kind of telling you what's going on, actually, between this whole thing. Sirius and Orion's belt. All right, a deeper dive again. Blue Pill kind of went into this. Again, I'm not trying to steal his IP. I have my own mind, but you could kind of look at his video. He breaks this down in much more detail than I could. All right, so look, it says it. Osir, Orion, all right, or Set, okay. All these things are here, okay. So you can look at this yourself, all right? You can look at this yourself. Soap debt is also called Sirius. But there is a, I'm trying to see if they have it. I've never looked at this article in my life, so bear with me. So they use, so this, I don't know why I had it here, but it doesn't say that. But this is what I'm looking for. During the very remote periods of the ancient Egyptian history, Isis was associated, because it shows how Isis, oh, this is what I was looking for. Okay. So Anubis, okay? Anubis, spiritual guidance. You know why they call it dog star, dog star? You know why they call Anubis, Anubis? What do dogs do well? Dogs follow verbal commands well. Dogs follow verbal commands well. So you can instruct a dog. You can't instruct a cat the same way you can instruct a dog. Dogs are probably the easiest animal to program verbally. That's why the Cometians used it, right? Because you create your own. You know when they say when you die, there's a book. Even the church talks about that. When you die, I'm just using this metaphor. When you die and you go before God or go before Christ, right? They talk about a book that's opening, right? Also, when they talk about in the book of coming forth by day, when you are judged, when your heart is weighed by the feather, there is the science of your heart. And thank you guys for the cash app. So the cash app, thank you. With the cash app recently, thank you so much. $ Rob Blackstone 7. But when they talked about the science of the dog and the book being written, from my perspective and my download, that book is you. You, through your own thoughts, through the things that you've thought, through your own life, right? Not necessarily through your actions, but your perspective on these actions. Do you feel guilty? What you've done, has it hurt people? Because when you do something to someone, I don't care how cold-hearted you are, you did some fucked up shit, right? You exploited someone. And we've all done things that were quote-unquote bad, right? Or wasn't the best for someone else, right? And sometimes we did it to survive. But there's still a record of that in your head. So this book is the dog that you walk, the dog that you train. So when they talk about you're in the underworld and Anubis being the god in the underworld, right? Even it says it. The dog jackal is famous for its reliable homing instinct. The dog is useful in searches and is the animal of choice to guide the blind and for guiding the soul of the deceased through the wisdom of the duat, right? But also, they take great verbal commands. So you write your own book based on your thoughts, your way of thinking, your way of processing. You write your own book. So Anubis is basically recording what you yourself did, you yourself think, your own idea. So that is the book. You write your own Bible in your head. All right, your own account is based on your thoughts and your ideas and your perspective on your past and your future. That's why it's very important to dead your fears during this weekend, to reprogram your fears, to reprogram your traumas, and work on them diligently, especially during this cycle when we're going into Leo, during this Cancer cycle going into Leo, because they're going to be challenged, they're going to be thrown in your face, which I showed you before, and it's things you're going to have to deal with, and you're going to have to confront yourself. And the universe is pushing you to your greatest self because the universe wants you to tap in and gain more spiritual power. Okay? So, going back to what I was going when I wanted to show you, and then I'll get back. I'll be done soon, I'm sorry. Okay, so Anubis is the dog star. Okay, it says it right here. All right, so the dog star is called Sirius. But Anubis's functions, the star of Isis. Isis is Set, the great provider, the point of origin in the Egyptian calendar. Okay, so Anubis and Set go together in this celestial marriage of Sirius, right, and Capricorn, right? In fact, there's an article that I was reading earlier when I was doing some more research on this that said Set or Isis is the moon. No, I'm sorry. Anubis is the moon of Isis, okay, or the moon of Set, meaning that if Set really is a deity that represents creation, it represents devotion to spirit, it represents water, and Set is also that L or that throne that the eye of Osir sits on. All right. So with Set or Isis being that L or being that throne, right, is basically saying that everything is under, damn, I had a thought, I kind of lost it. But it's saying that everything is under that, everything is under or that creative or that birth energy. When you see Set, that's the Black Madonna and child. All right, Isis, that's the Black Madonna and child, the woman holding the child to her breast. Okay, so that energy is what is resonating during the 4th of July, during this red, white, and blue, during this Sirius rising, during this dog star energy. It's that Anubis energy with your thoughts. Again, I told you, you got to program your thoughts. You got to tackle it. You got to hit that shit with that cap arrow, okay? You gotta let that shit get permeated and destroyed in your head and reprogram it and reposition it, all right? And use that light, okay, of Osir. The time is now. The time is tonight. The time is tomorrow. The time is the day after, all right? Go to where you live. Tap into when this eclipse is happening. Go out and moon gaze. Shit. Do what you need to do to tap in. You know what I'm saying? If you need to smoke a tree, to do a mushroom, you know what I'm saying? Tap in. Don't do no white drugs, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't do no pills. Don't do no dust. Don't do no nothing white. Nothing pill form. No lean, right? Natural. You know what I'm saying? Mushrooms, marijuana I would recommend, right? Mushrooms I recommend. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even get drunk tomorrow because liquor, alcohol means spirits. So you don't want the wrong spirit during this portal, during this window, to fuck around and have you doing the Watusi naked somewhere. So what I want to show y'all is how all these things line up, how these things all make sense, and walk your dog. All right? Train your dog. Train that dog in you. Train the Anubis in you. Because all these deities are you. All these deities are different characteristics of you. Okay? How do you speak to yourself? All right? And also, if you go into Sirius, Sirius is also the home of man, which the Dogon predicted and said we came from Sirius as the Nomo, which is fish, and then evolved from fish into humans, which is the Twa people, which I've been talking about already. Let's go back to the old, go back to the old videos. All right. So this video is pretty long, probably like 2 hours. I'm going to stop it now. I hope this made sense. Now you understand what the red, white, and blue means. Okay, the white being a Saur, the blue being on set, Cancer, Peru. Okay, you could also deep dive into this a little more. You'll see that they call this the twin gate, Cancer and Capricorn, bringing through Sirius, the dual pillars. You'll see those same dual pillars in Masonry as well. And in Masonic doors a lot, you'll see those same dual pillars. And Anubis, okay? So Anubis or Set, this same type of thing. This is a reprogramming session, and it's again the moon. So it's dealing with your inner emotions, your inner feelings, your inner self, your true self. So this is a time of meditation. This is a time of reflection. This is a time of going within. This is a time of knowing thyself and studying thyself. All right? I hope this made sense. I hope I explained it correctly, and I hope you understand. So now when you look up and you're doing July 4th, you look at your flag and they putting up fireworks, red, white, and blue, you know they're really trying to harness energy from you. Same way you moon gaze and you pull down that energy, you sun gaze, you pull that energy, you do a ritual, you feel a certain energy. It's the same thing that they're doing to you. So stay on point. All right. And peace, power, prosperity. Rob Blackstone. I'm out. Have a great night, y'all. I'm about to do some moon gazing. Peace.